So you've launched a business and you're wondering what's next and how to take your business to another level. Well, in this episode, I'll share with you why analyzing your data is
Totally crucial.
Hello, I'm your host Kaycinho. I'm a digital alchemist, and this episode is episode number 1 of a module dedicated to the after launch phase of starting your business. And by the way, this module is the 5th and last module of a course dedicated to take you from the burning desire to become your own boss to actually launching your business. So you will also find a link to the full course playlist in the description of this episode. The first objective tool to help you assess your new online business is the analysis of your analytics. So while you may think that this video only makes sense if you've already launched a business and have analytics data to analyze, you may still find valuable info in this video even if you've just launched or maybe even only prepared to launch a new business online in the future. To get started, I'd like to share a story. One day a client came to me because he wanted his website redesigned and basically all his online identity to be redefined and polished. So far, so good. His website had been online for like 6 years and you could tell by the looks, but an old website can actually be like an old bottle of wine, not for its looks, but for the amount of data that has been gathered through the years. So one of the first things that I did before I had access to the backend of the website was to check for the presence of a Google Analytics or similar code in the source code. But I didn't. I couldn't find it. What's more, the source code was not looking good. Basically, the website was powered by an obscure CMS that I had never heard of, and the code was not a piece of art. So I asked my future client if he had ever implemented statistics on his website, and he assured me that he was pretty sure he did, up until the previous month when they stopped working with the guy that initially built their website. So he told me he'd get all the info for me, but the info never came. Now fast forward till after the contract was signed and I had finally access to the backend, and to my surprise, well, not really a surprise, I found out that the only statistic that they had were a counter for the number of visitors since the website was published online. So what could have been like 6 years of insightful data turned into thin air. It's a bit as if you refrained yourself from drinking a 20-year-old bottle of wine, but when you finally open it, you realize that it turned into vinegar because it had not been stored in the proper conditions.
Oops.
Now, in my case, I was basically stripped of what could have turned into vital information for the redesign. Plus, Google Analytics, one of the most used statistics web services, comes in a free version, so it's just a matter of minutes to get it powering your website. Now, I'm not a Google Analytics guru, and although it's definitely a plus if you or someone in your team is such a guru, well, you don't need to be one to be efficient. What you need is common sense and, of course, data. Once you dive into it, the world of website analytics can become fascinating. Well, at least to me, and for some it can even become an obsession. Now, of course, I'm not advising you to go that route, but where analytics can really help your business is by letting you understand what's working and what's not working on your website, where your visitors come from, which language they speak, and whether they are surfing your website on a desktop or on a mobile. So basically, what you're getting is a goldmine of information. Because unless your website was made by your 9-year-old nephew, and by the way, sorry for 9-year-olds that are great at website creation, well, it should have all the essentials to make your business run online, so that what you should really look for is just the little details that added to one another will make a difference in the long run. For example, if you happen to notice that 70% of your customers come from Sweden, now may be the time to get your website multilingual and translated into Swedish. Or if you notice that 76% of your website visitors surf on mobile and that 68% of those use an iPhone and mobile Safari, you may now understand why your sales have decreased drastically since the last iOS update introduced a bug on mobile Safari. This will allow you to take action immediately and focus on finding a tailored solution for mobile Safari users. Other example, if your metrics show that 70% of your customers are females between 25 and 39-year-old, you may want to spend less dollars on your next online campaigns but with a much higher return on investment. Because now your targeting will be laser focused to that specific category of potential customers. Now, building up on the following examples, just imagine that you spend the same amount of dollars in your next online campaign, but this time targeting 25 to 39 Swedish females that surf from an iPhone with an ad in the Swedish language.
See where I'm getting at?
But back to my story. In my case, I had to start fresh from the beginning with my client, so we didn't get to target good-looking Swedish females, but instead we had to start like rookies. And although of course my client had some internal metrics to help tailor the new website based on the known customer profiles, it was still a trial and error game when it could have been a laser-focused operation. Other metrics that you should look for are bounce rate. The bounce rate represents the percentage of visitors who enter your website and then leave rather than continuing to view other pages within the website. Now, high bounce rates can mean that there is an issue on your website, but not always. It may also mean that the name of your business is similar to a popular search term and that visitors landing on your website immediately realize that they're in the wrong place. Page views. A page view is a request to load a single web page by a visitor. High page views may mean that your website is interesting to your visitors, but it may also mean that they have a hard time finding the info that they're looking for. Sources of incoming traffic. These are sources from which the visitors of your website come from. This can be broken down into direct visitors, those that type your website address in the browser, visitors that come from search engines, and visitors that come through the referral of other websites, blog posts, forums, video, text description on YouTube, online ads, and so on. New or unique visitor conversion. This is the percentage of new visitors who take a desired action. For example, filling in a web form, subscribing to your newsletter, or downloading a goodie. Returning visitor conversion. This is the percentage of returning visitors who take a desired action. Lead generation cost, also known as cost per conversion. The lead generation cost metric measures how cost-effective your marketing campaigns are when it comes to generating new leads for your sales team. Basically, it is the price that you are paying for a conversion. So if you paid $100 in ads, got 10 leads and 1 conversion, it means that for that campaign, your cost per conversion is $100. So your sales should generate more than $100 for you to make a profit. Interactions per visit. These metrics let you know how your visitors travel and interact through your website, thus helping you tailor your sales funnel to increase your conversion rates. Average session. This is the duration that one of your website visitors spends on your website. And just like for the page views metrics, high average sessions may mean that your website is interesting to your visitors, but it may also mean that they have a hard time finding the info that they're looking for. Exit pages. As the name suggests, these are the pages from which your visitors exit your website. For example, a specific page that has a high bounce rate may mean that something is wrong on that page, but it may also mean that your website is confusing or that your main call to action is not easily findable. It can also mean that your sales funnel is way too long. So I hope that this video helped you understand the importance of analytics and the fact that you should implement it on your website from the very beginning, or at least from today if you're watching this episode and you still don't have statistics implemented on your website. Now, do you monitor and analyze your website analytics, and do you actually take action? I'd really like to know, so please let me know in the comments of this episode. And by the way, you find the companion blog post on my website, Kaycinho.com, and of course, the direct link is also in the description of this episode. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, please like it, as it really helps growing this channel. And if you know someone that could benefit from it, please share it now. If you're not a subscriber yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. Now, if you want to brand, market, and grow your business in the digital age, then make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter so that you never miss a share of digital alchemy, as well as tips, tools, services, and case studies that can help you grow your business online. So that's it for this episode. I hope to see you around, and in the meantime, don't forget to invest
In your success.